Coming up on LUTV News, with coronavirus concerns sweeping the nation, we look at what Missouri is preparing for.
Plus, a tornado rampages through central Tennessee, leaving at least 24 people dead.
And the Blues keep the train rolling, collecting their 8th straight win in New York.
Those stories and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Joey Messenbrink.
And I'm Nicole Ortiz. Thanks for joining us.
Missouri Governor Mike Parson held a press conference this week to talk about the coronavirus. The governor says he has been in touch with Vice President Mike Pence, who is heading up the White House response to the virus. He also says Missouri is well prepared if an outbreak were to happen here. Currently, 15 people have been tested for the virus in Missouri. No cases have been confirmed. U.S. Senator Roy Blunt also weighed in on the coronavirus issue, urging House Democrats to stop complaining about President Trump's response and start spending money on preventative measures.
You know, one thing we could have done is give the administration exactly the amount of money they asked for. We could have decided to spend it differently 2 weeks ago and then get into a discussion of what we need next. That's not the course we decided to go down. We're trying to come up with an amount of money, it appears, that would get us through this entire incident with this virus, but it's time to get that done.
People across the U.S. are experiencing lower than usual gas prices right now. Some say that due to the coronavirus outbreak in China, people are traveling less. That leads to an oversupply of oil and drop in prices. Many analysts are unsure how long it will take for prices to balance out again. The average gas price across the U.S. right now is about $2.45 per gallon. Here in Missouri, the average price is about $2.16.
The 2020 Missouri Valley Conference Arch Madness Tournament will still be held amid rising virus concerns. Officials say that there is no reason to skip on the event. Officials are also increasing sanitation and following other CDC guidelines. Thousands of athletes and spectators will descend on St. Louis for the tournament. Arch Madness will be held at the Enterprise Center between March 5th and March 8th.
Asian Americans fear discrimination as coronavirus spreads. The virus doesn't discriminate based on ethnic background or race. However, several Asian Americans are raising concerns about being treated as scapegoats in the global coronavirus outbreak. Melanie Liu, a graduate student at Washington University, recalls sitting in a coffee shop and overhearing a group of people say how worried they were about getting the coronavirus. Others have reported glaring looks when they sniffle or sneeze in public.
A man has been arrested in connection to terrorist threats in University City. 29-year-old Jeremy Schmidt was charged Saturday with making terrorist threats. Police said that he had sent text messages to members of the One Family Church saying he was going to shoot those who looked down on him. Pastor Brent of the One Family Church released a statement saying that several members of the church have been working with Schmidt for the past year on issues of chemical dependency and homelessness. Schmidt's bond has been set at $10,000, and anyone with information is urged to call the U City Police Department.
A Missouri man in prison for his wife's death is seeking clemency. 75-year-old inmate Ken Middleton, who has insisted for 30 years that he did not kill his wife, is hoping that Governor Mike Parson will grant him clemency. Katie Middleton died from a gunshot wound in 1990, and her husband was sentenced to life and 200 years for first-degree murder. However, some evidence and experts suggest that she actually shot herself. Middleton's son and investigators allege that corruption and the incompetence of police, defense attorneys, and prosecutors landed him in jail.
A Good Samaritan is being credited with helping police catch the suspect of a road rage incident. 32-year-old Joshua Julius was arrested for allegedly fighting with a man he intentionally crashed his car into on Washington Avenue this past Saturday. The Good Samaritan kept Julius from fighting by holding him at gunpoint until officers arrived. Julius also allegedly assaulted a police officer during his booking at the Union Police Department. Julius has been charged with assault and is being held at the Franklin County Jail on a $500,000 bond.
A man is dead following a car crash in the Metro East. The crash happened along Bond Avenue around 5 a.m. Wednesday. Images show a heavily damaged pickup truck, and it also appears that police had someone in handcuffs. Police say a gray pickup slammed into a pole. A man was found inside the truck, but he was not conscious. Eventually, he had to be cut out of the truck. Firefighters said the man was pronounced dead at the scene. Straight ahead on LUTV News, protesters charged the stage during Joe Biden's Super Tuesday speech in California.
We'll have that and a look at the delegate count when we come back.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
The biggest day on the primary calendar appears to have reshaped the race for the Democratic nomination. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders came away with the biggest prize, winning the state of California. Sanders also won Utah, Colorado, and his home state of Vermont. Former Vice President Joe Biden won 10 states and is currently leading in the delegate count. Speaking at a rally in California, Biden was interrupted by two protesters who rushed the stage. The publicity-seeking demonstrators stormed the stage chanting, "Let Dairy Die." Biden's supporters erupted into boos that turned into chants of support for the former VP as the protesters were removed. Former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg is removing himself from the race for the Democratic nomination. The decision comes after the billionaire spent upward of $500 million of his own money on his presidential campaign. Super Tuesday was the first time Bloomberg was on any primary ballot, and the former mayor only picked up 50 delegates. Bloomberg has endorsed former Vice President Joe Biden. The other remaining major candidate, Elizabeth Warren, has yet to drop out of the race, but the Massachusetts senator has returned to Boston, and a campaign spokesperson says she is thinking things through.
Mayor of Allerton, Illinois, Joanne Reed, was arrested Sunday morning on suspicion of a DUI and illegal stopping. This isn't the first time Reed has been in legal trouble either. Just last year, she was arrested for operating a police vehicle with flashing lights following public concern of a woman impersonating a police officer. Reed posted bond the same night, and the incident is still pending with the O'Fallon police.
St. Louis Alderman Larry Arnowitz is resigning after fraud allegations. Arnowitz announced he was quitting the Board of Aldermen Tuesday and turning himself in to authorities on Wednesday. Arnowitz was indicted on one count of mail fraud related to his illegal use of $20,000 of campaign funds for personal use. Federal prosecutors also allege Arnowitz filed false reports with the Missouri Ethics Commission. If convicted, Arnowitz faces 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Bars and restaurants on May Street in St. Charles will have to wait for a bit longer for the council to make up its mind about changes to liquor laws. The City Council decided Tuesday night to withdraw a compromise bill that will lower the food requirement to 30%. Currently, the requirement is that bars must generate 50% of their revenue from food. The tougher restrictions were a 2018 response to local residents' complaint about public drunkenness in the entertainment district. Some bars owners say the restrictions should be removed completely. Council members say that they want to study the issue further.
A flight going from Chicago to Dallas was diverted to St. Louis because of a disturbance with a passenger. American Airlines Flight 2300 made an emergency landing at Lambert Airport Tuesday evening. A witness tweeted a video saying the passenger tried to open the door during the flight. The passenger was removed without incident by Lambert Airport security. The flight resumed and eventually landed in Dallas around 12:40 a.m. In other flight news, specific details have yet to be released on a small plane crash north of Springfield, Illinois on Tuesday morning. The Illinois State Police say that 3 people were killed when the plane came down and burst into flames. Authorities did say that the flight of the 4-seat Cessna 172 originated in Bloomington, Illinois. The names of the victims have not yet been released. The site of the crash along Interstate 55 at the 126-mile marker is the same location of a 2018 incident in which another small plane had to make a forced landing. No one was hurt in that crash.
The MLB has welcomed its first female strength and conditioning coach. Andrea Hayden became a member of the Minnesota Twins coaching staff last November. The Lindenwood University alumni was promoted to assistant coach by strength and conditioning director Ian Kadish after the 2019 season. This marked her quiet entry as the first female strength and conditioning coach in MLB history. Many of the players she coaches only just found out about her historical position and were surprised they didn't know. Hayden takes this in stride, saying that she's doing her job and her position shouldn't distract players from where the organization is going.
Looks like nice warm weather ahead for spring break, Nicole.
Yeah, Joey. Students will have nice weather if they plan on traveling. How warm will it get this weekend, Graham?
Well, Nicole, Sunday is looking to be one of the warmest days so far this year. I'll have more when we come back.
Doesn't see race. Love is love. Hello.
Hi. I'm from Blue Hood Stone Barns. We brought a meal for you and I'm here to serve it to you.
Okay, great. Come in.
Zucchini carbonara, made from zucchini that was harvested earlier this morning.
Again?
Hey, Dan Barber.
You have room for a little bit more?
Come on in.
Brochettes, the sausage. So when we made that zucchini carbonara, you know, they're the end pieces of the zucchini, and then the cores that we cut away, not to mention zucchini flower. Usually those get thrown out. We use them to create an entire second dish. Does that,
Again?
I'm here to bring you your third course. It's the vines from your zucchini.
We'll have a little zucchini stem pasta, a different experience of zucchini. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
This is delicious.
What do you think we can make out of this? 40% of food in America is never eaten. Cook it, store it, share it. Visit SaveTheFood.com.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back. The sun is starting to win its battle with Mother Nature as we continue to see a rise in temperature across the country. The west coast is looking pretty cozy while the east is getting a few scattered storms, and the south is currently getting pelted by storms and severe weather such as those fatal tornadoes that tore through Tennessee. Bringing the forecast a little closer to home, we are looking at just peachy here in St. Charles at 56 degrees. It's a little overcast, but nothing to worry about. Maryland Heights and downtown St. Louis are doing just as well with a balmy 55 and 56 degrees respectively. In O'Fallon, it's partially cloudy and 55 degrees, and in St. Peter continues our trend with a temperature of 55 degrees. So make sure you keep a hoodie or a light jacket around to keep warm. Now let's look ahead to the rest of the week. For today, we are looking at a high of 57 degrees, with a low of 37 degrees. Thursday still looks to be the warmest weekday with a high of 62 and a low of 34. Everyone's favorite day, Friday, is looking to be a little cooler with a high of 51 and a low of 31. The start of the weekend kicks off with Saturday with a high of 60 and a low of 42, while Sunday is shaping up to be a very nice day with a high of 68 and a low of 51. With weather that nice, it might finally be time to dig out your t-shirts and shorts. I know I'm looking forward to getting out and about. That's all from me. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Back to you, Nicole.
Tennessee is under a state of emergency after tornadoes rip across Nashville and other parts of the state. At least 25 people died early Tuesday as violent storms spawned multiple tornadoes in Nashville and central Tennessee. One of the biggest tornadoes tore directly through Nashville, blowing out windows and knocking down power lines. Governor Bill Lee has declared an emergency and is sending the National Guard to help with the search and rescue efforts. Authorities say 18 people are still missing. The storm included wind speeds over 165 miles per hour that reportedly the deadliest for Tennessee in 7 years.
It's a great time to be a Blues fan, Nicole.
It sure is, Joey. They won their 8th straight game last night. Hunters has the details.
That's right, guys. The Blues just keep on winning. I'll have more on that after the break.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day. He's an incredible companion and my best friend.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, it's going to be cool.
When I retired from the Navy, I found myself on a void in my life that had been filled by the people that I served with. Tommy really brought an important factor to my life. I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Hey, Julia, are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Welcome back. The Blues' winning streak continued Tuesday night as they took down the New York Rangers 3-1, making it their 8th consecutive win. The Rangers struck first when Mika Zibanejad snuck a power play goal past Bennington 12-16 in the first period. Parayko then tied it up with his 9th goal of the season with less than 3 to play in the first. Braden Shen broke the tie in the third, and Jaden Schwartz sealed it with an empty netter. Jordan Binnington made 25 saves in the game, winning his 6th straight in the net for the Blues. The Blues will take on the New Jersey Devils Friday night in New Jersey. The Cardinals took on the Houston Astros Tuesday during spring training, winning 6-3. The Cards have been down in Jupiter, Florida, and currently 5-6. But as we all know, more often than not, spring training is not an indicator of how the regular season will play out. But there have been a few bright spots so far this spring. Outfielder Dylan Carlson was last year's Texas League Player of the Year, has hit .400 so far this spring as he fights for an outfield spot. Shortstop Paul DeYoung has also been mashing, hitting .571 with the team leading 3 home runs. The Cardinals start the regular season on March 26 with 3 games at Cincinnati. The Battlehawks defended the Dome once again in their home matchup Saturday against the Seattle Dragons. Winning the battle 23-16, quarterback Jordan Tiamu earned the Week 4 honor of XFL Player of the Week. Tiamu completed 20 of his 27 pass attempts and threw 1 for a touchdown. The quarterback also ran for 63 yards on 16 attempts. The Battlehawks are back in action again on Sunday in Washington, D.C. against the Defenders at 2 p.m. Central Time. The Lindenwood Lady Lions basketball team head to the GLVC Conference Tournament this weekend. The Lions are led by seniors Callie Billner and Lindsay Medlin and will take on the Truman State Bulldogs on Friday at 2:30 in Edwardsville, Illinois. At a press conference Wednesday, we got a chance to hear what the two seniors had to say about what it will take to win.
We know coming into this game on Friday, we got to guard the 3 and just lock in on defense, and offensively it'll come to us.
Being we beat them at their home court, they're definitely going to have looking for revenge, and I think they average 25 threes a game, so guarding the three will be tremendous for us.
They're a special team with multiple players breaking school records this season. It would be hard to pick one characteristic that defines them. Head coach Katie Falco says character is what makes her team special.
First and foremost, the character, the type of people they are. I absolutely love this group. I love coaching them. They're excellent students in the classroom. And so you put all that together, and then they're certainly talented on the court. And the quality that this team has is that they've been really coachable here down the stretch. We're playing some good basketball because they finally have settled into what they realize they can be.
Lindenwood softball ended a 7-game weekend at home with a record-setting doubleheader against the St. Louis College of Pharmacy Eutectics. Freshman pitcher Amanda Way threw the first game, and that's their first perfect game for the Lindenwood NCAA era. She notched 15 straight outs in the 8-0 Mercy Rule 5-inning contest. Way recorded 9 strikeouts, which places her tied for 8th in the Lindenwood NCAA record book for most strikeouts in a single game. In 2 of the doubleheader, the Lions scored 16 runs in the first inning and won by Mercy 21-0, moving their record to the season to 11-4. That's all for sports today. Back to you, Nicole.
St. Charles County is recognizing Potbelly with an award for its food safety excellence. Potbelly Sandwich Shop in St. Charles, Missouri has announced that its location on First Capitol has been given the 24-Karat Gold Food Safety Excellence Award. The St. Charles County Commission for Environmental Health and Protection named Potbelly the winner for its ability to go above and beyond on the food code requirements. St. Charles Potbelly location opened on August 2016 and is one of the 4 locations in the St. Louis metro area owned by the Stimson and Bobry's family. That's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Nicole Ortiz.
And I'm Joey Messenbrink. Thanks for joining us.